Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off-the-cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro something at the beginning. I do have a transition button, so if there's noise outside my control, I can stop filming and carry on. These weekly Wednesdays, essentially, you guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are primarily model focused and it is primarily GW stuff, of which is primarily 40k because it's the biggest thing around at the moment. There is terrain questions from time to time. There is some general information about myself, what's going on in the workshop. We have a data card review every week. The data card that I review is on a unit that I've actually used on the table, so I have an understanding of how they work and can give you best advice about a unit. Whether I do that on the table or not is a different thing, but I can do that. And we have a weekly vote. I'll get onto the vote as we get onto when we get to that part of the show. Video, same thing. Right, so there's a good few questions this week. How do you clear the mold lines from flying stands as sanding it with sanding sponge scratches it and makes it look cloudy? Now, this is from one of my viewers, no one. I did actually reply to her straight away. But I'm going to let the rest of you guys know this. So, no, I messed up with this sister. Okay. The reason I messed up with her is because I glued her to the flying stand before undercoating her. Which I'll go through an easy way of sorting that out in a second. Because you don't want to come in with black paint and a brush. You can use an airbrush and, black paint, that's why we're doing it. But what I'm going to do is get a bit of kitchen towel and wrap it around as much of the flying stand as I can, so I can hold the flying stand like this and can try and control the spray. You can also mask and tape it and then just spray the whole thing and just peel the mask tape off afterwards. But the way this model is, she's got a bit of a rope hanging around the flying stand, so it's a bit difficult. But anyway, the question at hand. Now, there are a few ways of doing this. Not a mold line scraper, but some sort of sharp blade, like a surgical blade. You can get them in the hobby shops. And what you want to do before you glue the model on is take the blade and just run it along the mold line like you're peeling an apple. Okay, so or a potato, just run it along. The other thing you can do, it's a little bit more messing around, is get some masking tape and put the masking tape either side of the mold line. Okay, so what the masking tape does is it covers the flying stand. And then come in with your sanding sponge and run it along. And you should be able to clear the mold line without damaging the flying stand. But you have to be careful with this because you can damage the masking tape with the sanding sponge. The surgical blade would be perfect for that again. And the masking tape there would give you a guideline. Okay. The other thing you can do is put masking tape along the either side of it again, and a little bit of plastic. You're not squirting it along there. Let's say you're gluing a plastic model together, and you've got a little bit of residue on top of the pin. You just run that down, and what that will do is that will melt enough of it away. If you're going to do that with glue, make sure you put the masking tape on, because you don't want it to melt more than what you need, and you don't want your fingerprints on there, as it's doing it. That's why you can't use super glue, because super glue's the fumes from super glue will illuminate your fingerprints. When I make the other flying stands, I have the pens. When I take the pen, take that out, take the ink out, and then hacksaw this down, so I've got a clear flying stand. I've done that many times, especially when a flying stand breaks. That's the best way of repairing it. I use hot glue on that, because super glue will make your fingerprints come out, and the plastic glue won't do it properly. So I always use hot glue, but that's later on. So I hope that answers your question, sister. I know I responded to you first of all to give you a heads up, because if you're waiting to do that, wait for listen to me to do it, rather than wait 3 or 4 days. Just give you an answer straight away. Okay, Why don't you do a watch along video on events like Adepticon? Okay, there's another question on here to do with live streams, which will tie into this question as well. First off, for me, doing a watch along, that's somebody else's idea. Okay, let's watch this together, and that's great. You know, I don't want to take, work on someone else's idea. I'd rather have my own unique ideas. But at the same time, saying it, I don't really have the facility at the moment to do a watch along video. That might change in the future. I might, well, it should change in the future, but what might change in the future is I might do a watch along video. I can't guarantee it. The other thing for me is the time. It's usually early hours of the morning, and I finish work late and I come home. The first thing I want to do is get to bed. But that's why I don't do, watch along videos, whether it be Adepticon, whether it be, whatever it is. It's because it's late and because somebody else had the idea of let's watch this together. I'm not saying it's a bad idea and I won't do it in the future. I can't say that, but I don't want to steal anyone else's idea or anything like that. Now, the other question I have about live streams is why don't you do live streams? Again, I don't have the facility to do it. I have the computer, I have a little office space that I use to edit videos, and and it's a nice space. But at this moment in time, I don't have the capacity there to do the facility to do the live stream. I can do it, but there's going to be too much noise. People coming in, myself coming in the room, and I'd have to bring models from here over to there and all that sort of stuff. Now, with that said, my middle boy shares a room with my oldest son. Okay, my middle boy is going to be moving into the spare room. My oldest boy actually lives in Dublin at the moment. I was told for 2 years because his partner's doing a work placement in one of the hospitals there, and he's getting a job in one of the other hospitals, do something with the X-ray machines. So fingers crossed that they're there for that time, because if that is the case, and my middle boy moves over to the other room, that room is going to be vacant. And I said to herself, I could move all of this up there. And she said, well, you're going to have, if you did that, you'd have that room and you'd have this space to this room. And I said, no, because everything from here would be in there as well. There'll be no need for me to have the computer in here for editing and all that sort of stuff going on here, when I can have it all in one place. Printers, table, everything. And then she was like, oh, I can use this space then for my own stuff. Great, fantastic. Now, that's still in the pipework. So if that does happen, then there'll be live streams on me, because I'll have everything set up. I'll be having models there, I'll have paints there, I'll have, I won't have to go, oh, let me just go and, oh, I'm missing this, let me go and get it, and I have to come away over here, because it'll all be there with me, which is actually exciting for me. There's pros and cons to having it there as well. The cons are a certain time of the year, autumn time, there's more rodent activity around outside and everything else, and rodents are trying to look for warm spaces. When I say rodents, I'm not talking rats. There are rats that would be out here somewhere, but nowhere near the house. I'm talking mice, shrews and stuff like that. No, I have cats in the house, so there's no problem. They're not going to get in there, and there's very few spaces for them to get in. But it doesn't stop them drying. But again, that's not a big issue. Another con would be noise in the house. So I'd have out here, very quiet. You hear birds chirping and everything else. If someone comes into the yard, you can hear that, but that's about it. But in the house, there would be little one, or the noise, as I call it, making noise when she's at home. Anyone else could be in the house making noise. There could be noise in the house of like the washing machine or the dryer or the Hoover, or that type of thing, which I won't be able to help. But the pros of it all, the room is bigger than this space here. So you saw from when I did the review of how I move stuff around, how I've condensed everything and made everything so much more open. That room's bigger. But with that said, I'd also have to have the desk with the computers on it. You know, I'd have to have a desk for the printers. I know I've got a desk over there at the moment, but that I would not take that desk into the house because it's an old wooden desk and it's weathered and it's, you know, it's okay for being out here. The top of it's solid. It's okay for being out here, but I wouldn't take it in the house. So that, you know, have one of those two few little things would just, you know, take up space, but there's more space than there is in here. So that's just a win-win straight away. I could have glass cabinets there with models stored into them. Again, a win-win. On a cold day, instead of me having to go to Mark's because it's too cold to be here, it's perfectly fine. It means I could film on a Saturday, because at the moment I don't film on a Saturday because the farmers are in and out the whole day. If I do come out here to do stuff, it's to do stuff off camera. But there's a type of thing where if they disappear and I start filming, they turn back up, so I have to stop filming. So I just say, right, there's no point even trying to film, just do up bits and pieces. Again, then I'm trying to do bits and they're here making noise and they end up having, there's a diesel tank outside the door here on the right, ready for the tractors up and for everything else. But in order to do that, let's close the door. So I'd be here doing stuff and then they'd close the door and I'd be like, and they could be there for half an hour. And I'm just trapped in here for half an hour. You know, the other pros would be I could literally get up, you know, 6 in the morning and go straight in and start working away. You know, I could have like a clock in there. I did have a clock in here, a battery clock, but it stopped working, so then I just gave up on it. But I mean, I could have those simple little things I could have, so I could keep an eye on the time. There's so many different pros and that I can't really think off the top of my head, and a lot of them would be once I'm in there, I go, oh look. But like I said, that's in the pipe work. Just wait for my boy to start painting the room, and then, you know, he's getting a few bits and pieces together to do different work in there and get his flooring down and, you know, furniture that he wants. So that's it's interesting times. So if that is the case, then I would be in there doing live streaming. And I don't know what day of the week live streaming should be. I mean, it could be a Saturday night. When I say Saturday night, this is me talking about doing it being full-time on the channel. Because there's no point me doing it in the daytime when a lot of people are working, or, you know, some of my viewers are in school or they're in different time zones, so they're asleep. If I'm doing it of an evening time for myself, it should fit into different time zones where there's more people can look. Okay, that's in the pipeline plan. Okay, and this last one is a very nice question, and there's a nice answer for it as well. With all the sisters models in last week's vote, does that mean sisters are ready for the table? Yes, they are ready for the table. I say that, I've still got a few program war sorts to build and a few other little heads to put on some sisters, and, you know, a few things like that, and a few Imperial magazines to find, you know, to get a few bits on. But yes, they are like 85% ready for the table. I've even got the codex. That's how ready for the table they are. Now, I've already said to Mark, next week the plan is to have the Holy Sisters on the table. So with that, me saying it to him and me saying it to you guys now, that's more incentive for me, you know, to get stuff done. Now I've really pulled my thumb out. You know, as I said to you guys the other week, I need to pull my thumb out and get stuff done. I've really pulled my thumb out. I've got lots and lots of sisters done. I've got lots of stuff done. I'm actually building off camera the last of the sisters, the last stuff from the Imperial magazine, which I'd say that, and I've just had a thought now. I've still got 2 of the Necron vehicle things to build. That are actually annoying, but anyway, the little flyer things that the guys on, I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. But anyway, there's 2 of those to build still, you know, and I'm actually building the stuff from the Combat Patrol magazine that is that I've done, that I need to build on camera because I've already done it. With that said, I built the Terminators from the Combat Patrol magazine, and I should have done them on camera because they're built totally different to the ones that come in 10th edition box, which I thought they'd be the same, but they're not. But you know, not that difficult, so unfortunately I can't. I've already done them. But yeah, sisters, they should be on the table next week. Now, I actually, the list that I had wrote out, which is on the app, which is everything that I have, I think it came to like 1,800 points. I chucked, I think it was 2 rhinos in there, or 3 rhinos in there, something like that, just to you know, bulk it up a bit. Now, the only problem with the sister list that I have is I'm only limited to the models that I have for the minute. But the knock-on effect of me having them on the table is another faction that I can use on the table. With no more sisters left to build after I finish these last few, Paragon Warships are a pain in the ass, but once I finish those and a few sisters that are left, I will focus more on Tyranids. So hopefully, I say this, hopefully in the next 2.5, 3 weeks, no, actually scratch that a bit longer because I've got a lot of Termagants to build, but hopefully, you know, within a period of time there'll be Tyranids on the table as well, so there'll be another army I can use. And you know, it's it's very exciting for me. The weather's actually turned really nice now. It's not cold, it's not over hot, but it's not cold, so I can actually start getting back into printing. On my days off means I can spend more time over here in the afternoon because it's not getting dark and cold. It's getting a little bit chilly, but it's staying light for longer. So fantastic. It's a very exciting time for me at the moment. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to grab a date card and I'm going to bring you down and run through date card review. Now, date cards, for those who don't know, they're everything that's on, everything for that unit that you'd use in the game. So from their keywords to their weapons to their abilities, all that sort of stuff. And I try to review one every week, but based on a unit that I've actually used on the table. Okay. Now, again, I will say this: if I do a data card that I've already done, forgive me, but I do write them down so that I don't do the same one again. But sometimes you know, not recently, but well, I haven't done it so far, but sometimes I'll grab a card, do it, and be like, hold on a minute, I've already done this 4 months ago, 5 months ago. If that is the case, I do apologise, but you know, so I'm going to grab a date card and come down and we're going to go through it. Right, so we're going to look at the death card icon bearer. Okay, now I have one of these guys. I converted him, so I don't think I actually converted him slightly. I think it was an old icon bearer, but anyway, he has movement of 5, which is normal for death guard. Toughness 5, which means the Space Marines bolt gun is going to be wounding him on a 5. He has 3+ save, 4 wounds, leadership 5+, which is really nice, and OC control, objective control 1. Now he's armed with a plague bolter. Like most death guard, their plague bolters have lethal hits, which is nice. Apart from that, it's a bog standard bolt gun, 24-inch range, 2 shots. Actually, I think the normal bolt gun has 1 shot but rapid fire 1, so 2 shots there. 3 to hit, strength 4, AP 0, and 1 damage apiece. He has a plague knife, again, lethal hits. What lethal hits means, for everyone that doesn't know, when you're rolling to hit, if you roll a natural 6, that's an automatic wound. It's a melee weapon, 4 attacks with it. Hit is a 3+ to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage apiece. Now, he's a leader. He is Nurgle's Gift. They have a special aura attack, all Nurgle units do in the Death Guard army. And also, all units in the Death Guard army have a Nurgle's Gift, which does different things to, you know, gives you basically stick objectives and... No, sorry. Nurgle's Gift, the basic one, does your enemies -1 toughness. It starts at 3-inch range, and then from turn 2 onwards it becomes a 6-inch range. Turn 3 then it's a 9-inch range. But if you're using a certain detachment, you get sticky objectives and you get to choose another gift to add to that aura as well. Okay, so unclean icon. While this model's leading unit, add 1 to the objective control of characteristic models in that objective control characteristic of models in that unit. Same as a Space Marine Ancient, so it's nice. Seed the disease. Once per battle, at the end of your movement phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the start of your next command phase, this model's unit is treated as having contagion range of 12 inches, which is nice. Because you could do that in the first turn or the second turn and just really buff out your opponents. His inventory, his character, Chaos Nurgle, Grenades, Death Card, Icon Bearer. Okay, his faction keyword's a Death Card. Now this guy, like a lot of the models in the Death Guard army, can join a unit even if there's another character already there. So having him and a Plague Surgeon together in the unit is actually brilliant, or him and, you know, Plague Caster or something like that. Having him lead a unit of Death Guard Plague Marines is just, you know, fantastic. Chuck a, you know, 10 of them plus him in the Rhino, or him and another character plus 10 of those in the Rhino. Really, really good. Right, so that's the day card this week. Now I'm going to bring you down and show you the vote. What is the vote and how does it work? I bring you down, I show you host of models, and you guys comment below on what model you're voting for me to paint next Monday. In the event of a tie, I'll do a dice roll. Now, Monday just gone, I was waiting for Black Spray to come in, and it was the Wave Serpent and the Penitent Engine that both had 2 votes each, but the Penitent Engine wasn't undercoated because I was waiting for the Black Spray to come in, and there was a delay on it, so I started working on the Wave Serpent. But the Penitent Engine, because I couldn't do a dice roll, because I didn't want to do a dice roll, on the Penitent Engine wins, and I'm waiting for the spray to come in, and it comes in late, I'm not able to do it, or it comes in late and I get it sprayed down and then I'm rushing to get it done. I didn't want to do that. So it was the Wave Serpent that was painted up Monday, because he was all ready to go. So the Penitent Engine will be painted up this week at some point. I'm thinking it'll probably be ready for Friday, I would say, because me and Mark are playing a game tomorrow. No, sorry, not tomorrow. Today. Which means that video will go up tomorrow, being Thursday. So that frees me up Thursday to paint this guy. And if I need to finish him on Friday, then I can finish him on Friday, upload that video. If I finish him on Thursday, it means it frees up Friday for me to do another painting video, or to do another, you know, let's build or something like that. So that's what happened there. Now, Air Hobbies is always, you know, spot on. You order something and it comes, you know, the next day or the day after, depending on what time of day you order it. I know they had a bereavement the other week, so they were just, I think I would presume they're 2 or 3 days behind with stuff. So I ordered it on Thursday. It arrived up Monday, 11 o'clock or so. You know, this stuff happens, and there is delays on a few, you know, stuff like that happens. That can't be helped. So, with that said, I'm not taking any sisters out of the vote this week, and I'm not taking any Eldari out of the vote, because I couldn't do a dice roll to say, okay, this one won or that one won. Normally, say like the Eldari one, for example, then there would be no Eldari in the vote this week. Now, all I've done is leave what was there and added a few more. Okay, just because there wasn't a dice roll and I couldn't, you know, I just didn't think it was fair to take everything out, even though, you know, anyway, that's what I've done. So I'm going to bring you down and show you that, and all you do is comment below on this video what you vote for. Now, you can vote for as many as you like. Don't say I vote for everything, because it won't count, but you can say I vote for any sister, I vote for any Necron, any Tyranid, any, you know, and that will count. If you're not sure how to spell something, because some of them have really crazy names, just give me a brief description. You can also vote for a wild card. The wild card is you'll find out if it wins, or you can vote for Creator's Choice. Now, if nobody votes, or if you vote for Creator's Choice, then I pick the model to paint. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to bring you down. There's a few tasty models in there. I wouldn't like to pick. There's just. Right, so we'll start with the sister squad here. The Retributors, I think they are, the heavy weapons sister teams. We have an Eldari Ranger. I have two of them that were made up for me because I'm missing two from the unit that I have. I have Dr. Octopus from Marvel Crisis Protocol. I have a Cryptothrall from Necrons. I have Wagon. I have the alternative sculpt of the Scorpic Destroyers. I have the Warpsmith. I have the Jackals for the 8-bound. I have the sister squad. Actually, I have two of these squads. I'm finishing off the second squad now. I have the Arco guys for the sisters. I have a Plasmancer for Necrons. I have the Repenter Superior, or just Repenter squad. This is the Repenter Superior for that unit. I have the Seraphim. I have the Lich Guard. I have the Hellblaster guys for the Space Marines. Scorpic Destroyer Lord. Necron Overlord with Translocation Shroud. I had the Scourges for Drukhari, Space Marine Veterans, or Stone Guard Veterans, I think they are. I have the old Warhammer Fantasy Chaos Warrior unit of Michael Nurgle. We have the Champion from the Company of Heroes. You would have seen him yesterday, unless yesterday's Let's Build. I have Ginstiders for Ginstider Cults and Tyranids. And we have 8-bound. So, as you can see, loads of different things. Yeah, just I don't know what I wouldn't know what to vote for, to be honest. There's so many great models there that I want to paint. I couldn't even pick one above anything else. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you have a question for me, chuck it below as always, or you can go to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There is a messenger button there. Click on that. You can message me directly, as a few of you do. Any questions I'll answer next weekly Wednesday, unless I think, okay, let me give you an answer quickly because that's a very important topic. Or if you're a regular viewer and I say, right, let me just give you an answer straight away. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube shares this video of more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. If you want to support the channel even further, there's a join button below. You click on that and become a member. There are different tiers for members, different member tiers, and each tier has different perks. The top tier perk, the Gold Star, there is a free monthly prize draw on that tier. It's not advertised on there because I'm not allowed to advertise it, but it's on there. So guys, thanks for watching. Questions below, votes below. Hit the buttons for me. Until next time, take it easy.